Welcome back to the LilyGrace Lifestyle Podcast. I have a spectacular guest on today to talk about fashion trends, and just how she's created her own brand and just life in general. I'm so excited to have you on today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So something that I always like to start out with is what defines your lifestyle, so we can get to know a little bit more about you.
So I've always used this little acronym called ALBOE, ALBOE, and it stands for a little bit of everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like I've built a lifestyle that has just so many different facets to it. It's hard to kind of define myself in one word. So I cheat and use that little acronym.
I love it. I
Sure.
love it. So can you give us your intro, give us the name of yourself, your company, and just your background in general?
Sure. So I'm Cai Flynn. I am from the Southern Maine area and went to UMaine.
Nice.
There I studied mass communication and business, and I got really involved in wellness. And then after school, I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition to get certified as a life coach.
Oh,
And then kind of all in there, I found fashion has just been something I've been into. I truly don't know a lot about the trends and what's new and cool, and even designers a lot. It's more just something that I've taken as my own little, hey, I'm going to go thrift and find something that makes me feel me. And that's kind of helped me go hand in hand with this a little bit of everything lifestyle. And it helps kind of build my confidence and my feeling of well-being. So it ties in with the wellness. So
that's great.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that you said you had kind of that business background and also got into the wellness, the life coaching, because I feel like that all kind of goes into what you do today, which we'll get more into, obviously. But that's so cool. I always love to hear people's backgrounds and kind of how they got to where they are. So that's awesome. Was there
Yeah.
anyone specific on Instagram or in the industry that you were like, I want to do that? Was there someone who inspired you?
I don't know about Instagram. I think with Instagram, it's almost like I've adopted trying to do what I didn't like, what I was seeing on Instagram. I didn't want to just picture this life that's so perfect and that, you're always dressed to impress, and that, people are not always, but a lot of times posting what they want people to see. So
Mhm.
I think I've tried to just find myself being a little more raw and real in that, just being goofy and posting what I really truly wanted people to know about me. And I think in that I've built a little, I guess that's where the collection kind of came from, just me goofing off in clothes. And then I started selling them through that.
Yeah.
So they're, yeah.
That's great. No, I love that because I totally agree. I feel like Instagram's just a highlight reel most of the time, but it's really cool. I love your Instagram. You'll plug it at the end, so keep listening, people. But can you talk to us about the collection and kind of how you got into selling clothes?
So I guess it was more of what my friends called as hoarding back in the day. I couldn't even fit everything in my college closet, and my friends would just come in and borrow clothes, or I'd help kind of style them out before we'd go out. And then eventually I really discovered thrift shopping, and I was just just couldn't stop buying things from there. And my friends just encouraged me to maybe put some online, and it helped kind of just balance out the closet. Yeah, I think they saw that I enjoyed doing that, and so I was doing Poshmark for a while in college. And then I just kind of put it down for a while as I was getting into life coaching, and I also had a job being a beer rep, so that took a lot of my time.
Right.
And then one time I just quit beer repping. I was just like, you know what? I kind of want to get back to this, and I'm just going to do it now. And honestly, with COVID, it kind of just made room for that. So I just started putting it on the Instagram, and that's the only platform I was using. And it just kind of took off from there. I mean, I say take off, but really it's been a lot of my friends supporting it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love how your friends were very supportive because, as I always say, I feel like successful people just have great people around them to kind of bring
Mhm.
them up to that next level. So I feel like that's a big part of it. But I also love that you mentioned the life coaching, the repping too, because it kind of led you to this day, to where you are. And like you said, like, I think beautiful things can come out of like these kind of dark times sometimes. But can you
Mm.
talk to us about like, your clothing in general, and like what is the process of you making your clothes or thrifting the clothes for the actual shop?
Hmm. So once I started actually selling, at first it was me collecting clothes that I wanted to wear, and that didn't really leave room for a range of sizes and styles as much.
Mm.
And as I started selling, I eventually did pop-ups once we were able to be outside in the summer. And I remember having a dream that I didn't have something for everyone. And I was so stressed and felt so bad. So now when I go shopping, I really try to just open my mind to all the different types of people out there and situations, and how can you set yourself up to have a life or even just a day that you
Mm.
want, and how clothing can really situate yourself in that setting. So I'll go shopping, I'll go thrifting, I'll go antiquing or to vintage stores or estate sales. And honestly, I only pick pieces that I get this immediate vision for. I
Mm-hmm.
just see, like, okay, I can see someone putting this on and going to get sushi and then going to a bonfire. And it really, like, I would say every thread has a vision and a story to it. And so that's really what I try to nail at this point,
Mm-hmm.
so that it brings life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is so cool. I love that you said kind of like you're talking about upcycling in a sense and kind of like being sustainable in that sense, but also telling a story, because I feel like with good design and good just storytelling, good businesses in general, that's what you're doing. And I
Mm.
love how you said sushi, bonfire, things like that, because it's not like, okay, we're going to go to like a wedding and like a fancy ball and things like that. It's something that people can really relate to on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Wow.
then the upcycling part of it, I've never been very crafty. I think putting outfits together has is my specialty. But as far as the sewing, even cropping, I don't have a steady hand. So I took a lot of time within quarantine to actually sit down and learn those skills. But I will say I did meet a man, and we work together now, and I'm more
Oh,
of like the the visionary for it, and
yeah.
he is so great at creating it and making it and bringing it to life.
That's
So yeah, with
awesome.
thrifting, I think you just have to kind of look beyond just what could look good and find pieces that might be passed over, and you can really make a lot out of a little, and
Mhm.
something that's ratty, you can bring it back to life. And so just, yeah, sewing, serging, cropping, distressing, there's so many different things, and it's really fun. It's been a journey, but yeah.
Wow. Wow, because I feel like it's kind of like trendy now too, because like people go vintage clothing shopping and it's just so fun, but I feel like you really curate like really interesting pieces. Like your Instagram's so freaking cool. I love it.
Thank you.
Like when you said you found a man, are you in a romantic relationship and then you're working together at this business?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I love it. Talk to us
Yeah,
about
which
that.
well, it's definitely not what I ever intended on doing. I know it can be risque, but we've been friends, and as I started to really get to know him, he's in the surf community, and we went surfing together as friends, and we started to chatting, and I felt like we balanced each other in a way, and I saw myself kind of seeing him as a partner immediately, and I think that feeling was mutual. And he's really into style,
Oh, I love
and
it.
he just gets excited about what he wears, and I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, I think we just got chatting about it for as friends, and then it kind of grew, and then the relationship developed. But
That's
I
so
said to
great.
myself, like, we are gonna work together. Like, I know I can see us working together. Our ideas just really collaborated well. And I think I needed that with
Yeah.
collection. I'm such like an ideas girl.
Yeah.
It was nice to have someone kind of break it down and say, okay, let's do this today
Yeah.
let's do this. And so
Yeah.
it's nice to kind of compartmentalize my
That's
thoughts.
great. Yeah, someone to kind of like ground you in a sense.
Yes,
Yeah. No,
definitely.
that's such a cute little love story. I love it. Because for me, like I have a boyfriend, but I could never honestly picture working with him just because I'm so like type A and he's not. But like it's just so great to see other couples being able to work together because I think it's
Yeah.
like the dream like thing and I love it. I love that you're creating together and it's so impressive too. I love that.
Thanks. It's definitely about, you have to create balance as well. And I'm very independent and I like my
Right.
space. I need my space to
Me
kind of
too.
recharge.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a plus having a basement. So he's kind of, we'll take times to be apart and we'll take times to be together, but we make it a point to say, hey, you go hang out with your guy friends today and
Yeah.
I'm going to go do my thing. We were supposed to go bowling today and I kind of just said, you know what, I'm going to take this day to myself. And I took a walk and I did what I wanted. But then at the end of the day, it's like we're recharged and regrouped. So it's just nice, I think, to create healthy space so
Yeah.
that you're not on top of each other and you're maintaining that individuality. And
Mhm.
that really helps kind of form a good stance where as business partners.
Totally. I love that you mentioned healthy space and healthy relationship because I feel like that is so important whether you work with your partner or don't. I feel like people need space from each other and I think that is so good to hear and kind of reiterate and I can totally see how you are a life coach because I'm getting those vibes right now. You're really good at this. um,
Oh, thanks.
but yeah, so kind of like tell us about styling in general. How would you define being well-rounded and kind of using style as a facilitator to shape your life in general?
Hmm. I would say with well-roundedness and in a lifestyle, what you wear needs to really represent who you are. And I like to do like I ask myself like who do I want to be today in a way.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's funky and sometimes it's a little more conservative but dainty or whatever. Sometimes I want to be kind of in the mood. If I want to go skating, I have something on that will facilitate for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really just kind of, again, a little bit of everything, so that you're able to live the life you want and have people kind of know who you are based off of what you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
In a time that we're masked right now and we're
Right.
robbed of so much expression and connection, I think clothing more now than ever can really do a good job with expression. And yeah, it's an extension of yourself. So
Totally.
wearing things that make you feel good and then, look good, feel good.
And I like in the beginning, kind of like what you're talking about now, you mentioned you're not like the mainstream trends because I feel like on Instagram or wherever people look, there's always like the same thing going on. Like, I'm not going to mention any certain trend, but I feel like it's always like copy paste almost between brands. But
Mm,
I like how you're kind of mentioning, kind of honing in on your personal style and just really
mm.
creating your own trends.
Yeah, I think that is the beauty behind secondhand shopping.
Mm,
It's, yes, it's the sustainable facet of it, but
yeah.
the unique, one of a kind, that this, the everything you find in thrift stores and vintage shops are passed down from generations in so many different styles and personalities, and it's up to you to resonate with what you're attracted to or what just seems cool to you.